Welcome to Fun Factory Gaming.
I have been dreaming.
There are 3 words that combined in a game ad phrase: make me stop what I'm doing, and pay attention. These 3 words are sword, magic, and first person, not because it's a new combination. Dark Messiah of Might and Magic did this in 2006, with a kicking system that sent enemies out the window, and that is still cited today as the peak of the tactical fantasy in the first person. Arx Fatalis did this in 2002, with a system of spells drawn with the mouse that was both bright and absolutely impractical in real combat. And after decades of attempts with varying results, Paraglacial, a 13-person subsidiary studio of THQ Nordic, appears in the 2025 Warhammer Skulls with the announcement of Fatekeeper, and last May 2026 confirmed the date of early access for June 2. 13 People, Unreal Engine 5. First-person action RPG with real impact melee combat. Well-made and easy-to-use magic system, skill tree, alchemy, relics, and a handmade post-apocalyptic world where ruins whisper past catastrophes. That's either going to be the Dark Messiah that no one has given us since 2006, or it's going to be more of an early access that I'll be eyeing for 18 months. For now, I'm on the side of hope.
Am I eager for it?
Whoa. All right. I'm here. Let's get this over with.
The pain will be intense. Do not let it stop you. Remember your training.
All right.
These portals were created by the first druids. They allow travel between realms. But the passage itself is never gentle. If the old masters had found a way to spare us the pain, they would have. The passage simply unfolds the body in ways that cannot be softened. For your first transition, the runes are Krina, Nikwa, Yani, Krina. Now, step through.
To understand why Fatekeeper is on the radar of any respected PC player, I need to do a work of historical contextualization that the market often omits. Dark Messiah of Might and Magic was developed by Arcane Studios, the same studio that would later make Dishonored and Prey, and released in 2006 by Ubisoft. It was a first-person action RPG in a fantasy world, with a combat system so physically satisfying that it's still cited as an inevitable comparison reference to Fatekeeper. The reasons are simple. It was a game where each hit had tangible physical weight, where the positioning mattered beyond dodge, where to get close to an enemy and kick him from a cliff was not only possible, but often the most elegant solution available. No game in the genre replicated that feeling completely in the next 20 years. Skyrim came closer but prioritized scale, rather than combat depth. The Kingdom Come Deliverance went in the direction of realism, but lost the fantasy. Kingdom Come 2 has improved, but still without magic.
My body was being torn apart.
Fatekeeper, so the trailer and technical information reveals, is explicitly trying to fill that space. The technical detail that no coverage can avoid mentioning is that Paraglacial has 13 employees. 13. And what these 13 employees produced is visually impressive enough, considering that only 13 developers did it. It looks really pretty impressive. The world is built by hand, not procedurally generated, meaning that each area was drawn with editorial intent rather than fill algorithm. This is visible in games in a way that is difficult to articulate, but easy to feel. Handmade worlds have a detail density and a visual language coherence that automatically generated content rarely manages to replicate. The engine is Unreal Engine 5, which in 2026 is almost mandatory for any visual ambition in indie, and Paraglacial is using Lumen and Nanite, producing visuals in exquisite fidelity. For 13 people, this suggests that the team has at least a few members with technical engine mastery, above what you would expect from a studio of this size. The technical description of the Fatekeeper combat is where the game reveals real ambition that goes beyond beautiful first-person RPG. The Gamatsu captured the full scope: swords, axes, claves, apples, and pitched projectiles, all customizable by the alchemy system. Skills tree with build flexibility. Enemies with specific weaknesses that reward experimentation of equipment combinations and spells. And a precision magic system that was described as requiring timing and positioning rather than simple pointing and firing. That last point is the most important for a PC player on duty, because first-person magic system is the most difficult design problem of this subgenre. Making magic work well in the first person requires that the spells are both visually readable in 3D space, fast enough not to create irrational vulnerability windows, and sufficiently distinct from each other so that the choice of which to use in which situation has real strategic weight. Arx Fatalis got it wrong at speed. Skyrim was wrong in the distinction. The Dark Messiah hit the 3, and no one equaled. Paraglacial is promising that it got it right too. June 2026 will reveal whether the promise is real. The Fatekeeper scenario deserves specific attention because it escapes the most common post-apocalypse in the market. The world was destroyed by past catastrophes whose ruins still whisper the events, which is the most poetically vague and at the same time most evocative lore description I have ever read in a game presentation. It's not nuclear apocalypse. It's not zombies. It's not robots. It's the kind of high-fastness cataclysm that leaves dragons, corrupted druids, giant insects and creatures inspired by myths and legends inhabiting what's left. The scenario is post-apocalyptic with elements from different cultures and periods of history, which is the category of world building that Morrowind used with mastery. A world that has identifiable references from multiple real civilizations, but that combines them into something that does not belong to any of them specifically. For someone that grew with the Elder Scrolls and always valued worlds with depth lore above historical fidelity, this is the kind of environment that invites genuine exploration instead of family-friendly tourism. The June 2nd early access has approximately 2 hours of content, representing the first hours of the game, with progression and support systems still incomplete. The final version promises 15 hours of content, and the early access window is projected in 18 months. This is team honesty that knows exactly what it's making available. It's not final product. It's demonstrable foundation with long development commitment. Paraglacial itself explained to Xbox Era the reasoning. Fatekeeper is a new type of game, genre and IP for us. We want to build and develop with the community. This is the legitimate use of the early access model. 18 months is a long time. But for a 13-person studio building 15 hours of first-person action RPG, with the level of technical ambition that the Fatekeeper demonstrates, 18 months is realistic schedule, and not vague promise. Fatekeeper entered early access on June 2nd, 2026, exclusively on PC via Steam. Console versions have not been announced. For a PC player, this is the only relevant platform anyway. But it is worth noting that Paraglacial is focused on PC first, and consoles later if the reception justifies. And that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed my work, please show your love by giving it a like and considering subscribing. As always, thank you for your support.